TIL, a study on cocaine use, challenged the belief that the drug induces weight loss by suppressing appetite. Cocaine users ate way more food than non-users, yet this didn't increase their fat mass and they didn't gain weight. Researchers concluded that cocaine reduces the body's ability to store fat. That, though, is not quite correct. It is a known and studied fact that hard drugs cause loss of appetite on most people. Matter of fact, this was also the way mob bosses knew if their employees were using their product, which was against the clan rules. Famous Camorra boss, Aniello La Monica, had set up a system of detecting this by having private guards pick up his dealers or square owners from parties and sit them down in front of a plate of pasta to see if they'd eat. People that use often refuse or throw up because their system can't handle the digestion at that moment. As someone who has done a lot of it, I completely disagree with this study. It absolutely does decrease appetite and in turn made me lose weight. After a few lines, even the sight of food would make you feel nauseous. There would be times where I would force myself to eat something after a 36-hour binge. Coke is weird cause your brain tells you you're sleepy and you're hungry, but your body tells you the opposite. Glad I'm off the stuff, but I still think about it most days. A couple of my girlfriends use it regularly along with vapes and they are super skinny and fit, still doing backflips and shit, with tons of energy at 35-36ish years old. They can still wear clothes they wore in high school and look just as good. But they do shit several times per day and are probably damaging their hearts drinking alcohol with it. I worry about them getting a bad batch someday. Coming from someone who smoked crack for like 2 years, it's definitely appetite suppression. I could be absolutely starving, but as soon as I hit the pipe I would get full just by thinking about eating. Lol. I've never been a heavy eater, even now that I'm sober, but on the days that I'd do cocaine crack I wouldn't be able to make myself eat anything until the next morning after I'd slept it off. It just depends on the person. In my experience I've seen people basically live off cocaine and nothing else except maybe a meal or snack once a day because they said they couldn't eat. And I've also seen a pretty heavy set stripper do coke all night and then hit the Waffle House at 4 AM and down some food. Lol. Way different reactions and tolerances, I guess. Researchers concluded that cocaine reduces the body's ability to store fat. The user goes off the coke. Going by celebrities, anyway, seems like they often go from beanpole to chunky. Could also be the result of going from young person to old person with slower metabolism, who can't handle the party lifestyle anymore. I'm not one for anecdotal evidence, but having used cocaine in my younger years, I couldn't eat on it, absolutely destroyed my appetite. I just can't imagine how this study found that people eat more on cocaine than not. Like, were these guys chronic users who barely got any high on it or what? Am I dumb? How is that the conclusion? It's a stimulant, but it doesn't read like they took into account the participants' activity level. I would hypothesize that cocaine users are more active and burn more calories on average. It would also explain why they eat more. Not a cocaine user here, but from listening to and watching people who do it, I always assumed that it increases your metabolism and everything else, so cocaine users just burn more calories and digest food very quickly. TBH, it depends. If you're a smoker you'll eat a lot less. If you drink you definitely won't. I don't drink much, and never did with coke, so I just smoked a ton of cigs on it and then more on the come down. Interesting, the hardest thing I've ever put in my body was vodka, so I have no experience with any of this. Now the hardest thing I ever put in someone else's body, on the other hand, that was my penis. Nah, that makes sense. Cocaine probably keeps the body from going into rest and digest mode, so you just end up burning through the calories instead of your body relaxing enough to store them. Reducing fat storage is one mechanism. Could also be it boosts basal metabolism, disrupts sleep which would alter metabolism. Stuff I can think of right now, and combinations of all these. I did both cocaine and speed in the early 90s and they both absolutely killed my appetite. On big party weekends I'd live off of those meal-inikin things, preferably banana flavored. I got call BS. They don't eat less when they're not high, sure. But I'd be starving, do a line, the thought of food became a hard no, I wouldn't be hungry again till the next day. Never in my life have I heard a connection between cocaine and shitting, and now every comment is about it. Did something happen? Also, do they mean that cocaine causes diarrhea? Forbidden knowledge. Last thing we need is overly body conscious people getting into coke for weight loss. Definitely useful knowledge, but best applied with care. Wait, did they forget about the fact that it increases heart rate exponentially? I mean, Adderall does the same thing and those kids lose weight all the time. Big Pharma's ears just perked up. Pill's gonna be here in 3 months, called you $12 a pill, you need 3 of them a day with insurance. I mean, yeah, when I used to masturbate for 18 hours with a line every 10 minutes then not eat properly for a week following a binge, no doubt I lost weight, lol. This is crap. I know some people that have legitimately used cocaine for a couple of weeks to lose weight, then successfully stopped and kept it off. Anecdotal support: I was in really good shape during my year of coke 80-81. In great shape during my summer of coke in 1981, scared face, party face, smiley face, flexed bicep. Perfect, now I can do 2 things I love. Losing tons of weight and snorting cocaine. I knew it was good for more than just getting high. I always thought it was a fact that addicts will prioritize drugs over food. Especially as they get progressively more broke. I kind of assumed it was due more to the body utilizing more fat in the same way caffeine induces fat burning via lipolysis. This study is rife with terms like suggests and has no solid evidence or conclusion. Sensationalist bullshit, move along. Trust me. As a fat dude that enjoy the nose beers. Never lost weight. That's when I decided I'm just big boned, damn it. Funnily enough, I've met plenty of fat long-term meth heads. Which seems super weird and counterintuitive, but there you go. I don't think my friend ever ate when he was using tremendous amounts of cocaine. He was also 50 pounds less than he is now. Really shows how calories in, calories out is an oversimplification of how diet and weight loss works or doesn't. If that's true, then why do bears fucking love cocaine so much? Seems like that would mess with their hibernation, no? And this is all you need to know about studies. I lived on crack and stolen oranges for over a month in Florida. This is ridiculous. And I feel like a second study with myself as a participant is the only way to prove this to me. What people literally eat less on stems, it's a fact. Take a 50 mg Vyvanse and see if you feel hungry for 12 hours. But did they acetone wash the cocaine in the study, or was it just a lot of vitamin D and cattle dewormer? I would like to have been part of that study. Please snort this cocaine. Also, here's a pizza. Cocaine increase your ability to burn calories. Clearly the researchers could have used a bump or 2. I wonder if it depends on the method of use. My brother loved crack, and was a rather big boy. Lol, who the fuck eats more on cocaine? The only thing I had on cocaine was more cocaine. Cocaine mimics epinephrine, which induces lipid oxidation and inhibits insulin release. Who wants to waste money on food when one can have more cocaine for the same price? People in labs with prepared food eat more, maybe? No one else eats more on cocaine. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Rick James. It also reduces the body's ability to prevent your coronary arteries from exploding. When you are sporting a resting hour of 111, you damn right you ain't storing any fat. And heroin is one of the most potent anti-cough medicine, but it has some drawback. This explains why I can drink so much coke and stay slim. X200B. X200B. S. I have altered my New Year's resolution. Pray that I do not alter it any further. Cocaine makes your heart beat way faster and you move faster. That burns calories. Well, yeah, it reduces the body's ability to store fat. You just shit it right out. Damn, another weight loss drug that's too expensive for most folks to afford. Brittle the arteries. Stress, drink, smoke and snort. Game. Die and try again. Well, I tried smoking myself then. Guess it's time to get healthy with cocaine. I better start doing cocaine to better my health. Plus I love the smell of it. So can we extract the anti-fat storing part and take it as a supplement? John Belushi, Lowell George, Chris Farley were a few well-known examples. Diet and exercise? PFFFTT, time for my fat ass to start a cocaine habit. Adrian Adonis of 1986 would like to have a word with these researchers. I sure as hell drank more when I did it. Fears went down like water. Vibrating in your seat after eating Taco Bell still burns calories. So Florida people aren't fat but still tend to eat a lot. Crazy. I have no desire to eat anything whenever I have used cocaine. How does one take part in such studies? Asking for a friend. I dunno, my ex does a shit ton of cocaine and she's still fat. The model diet Special K, Diet Coke, couple 2-3 bumps there. I really need to lose about 10 pounds, so where can I find some? Get out of here, Dewey. You don't want any part of this shit. I know a lot of bloated coke users. My guess is the booze. It's because you work twice as hard to find more cocaine. Get out of here, Dewey. You don't want no part of this shit. Oh yeah. Explained John Candy, Belushi, and Farley then. So, we're gonna explore this further, right? Right? So how long until we can get this in an energy drink? Are you an ARC? You have to tell me if you're an ARC. Alright, you all convinced me. Does anybody have a plug?